way back in ancient history for 2KU, that being 2020, the Virginia Tech Hokies lifted the Crystal football as national champions, claiming an ACC championship. Then they did it again in 2021 with a ACC title that season, losing in the Orange Bowl to Michigan. And then they did it a third time in 2022 on a miraculous Hail Mary. Virginia Tech has won the ACC Championship for an unreal 3 straight years. And tonight against Clemson, they're trying to make their 4th consecutive trip in order to do something that no one in ACC history has ever done. Meanwhile, Clemson, on the other hand, trying to finish the comeback they have been building for half a decade. In 2016, this team had the worst record in the ACC. Now, they are looking to make the ACC Championship. They haven't won an ACC title since 2010 when they went back-to-back in 2009 and 2010. And they haven't played in the championship game since 2014. Clemson getting us started here.
Well, the defensive backs completely jumped the run. Only the run was never there. It was just that misstep that allowed the completion.
Pardon me, actually their last trip was 2020 against Virginia Tech. Oh, there's a sack on the quarterback. The big playmaker for Clemson has been the quarterback position, Travis Heller. But one thing everyone runs into trouble with this Virginia Tech team is that unreal defense. Can Heller be the first one to tame it? And it doesn't look likely to start this drive on a 3rd and 17. Heller with time. He's going to heave this one deep. Incomplete. And the punt team is coming on. They're going to send everyone at it to block it. The kick is away. It's been unreal watching this Virginia Tech squad in these last 3 years. Here's their quarterback. There's a wide open first down. The offense has scored a lot, but it hasn't been what Virginia Tech is really known for. They've been the most dominant defensive team in the nation. However, playmakers for the Hokies have been silently putting together an incredible year. We haven't seen Virginia Tech since back in week 1 when they played Georgia Tech. There's Jamal Jones and quarterback. Oh! Running back Marcel Lewis takes a shot there. The Heisman finalists are in. We have all 5 of them. We will announce them on Sunday for the 2KU weekly podcast stream. There are 5 Heisman finalists. He's trying to run. Not going to go anywhere. That's a sack on the play. Loss of 2 will make it 3rd and 7.
Third down and 7. Ball on the 25.
They're down 7 to go. Gonna try a screenplay. He's got blocks, and he's got a first down. Marcel Lewis. It's been a while since we've seen Clemson as well. We last saw them in their loss to LSU. They have 2 losses on the season, 1 to LSU, and their second was in conference play to Duke. And that Duke loss is really going to hurt them if they lose tonight. Virginia Tech all but clinches a spot in the conference championship with a win tonight. Currently in second place in the conference is Duke. As that run isn't going to go anywhere. It's Duke, Clemson, Virginia Tech, and in the distance is Virginia. The Cavaliers haven't made the conference championship game since 2012. They're trying to pull off the impossible here, as that short pass won't be enough for the first. And we are going to see the field goal unit in. This one from about 26 yards, if that. And the first score of this game, a field goal for the Hokies. In what is one of the most difficult places to play in the nation. Exit light, enter the Hokie defense. The most dominant squad in college football over the last 3 years. As here's a quarterback keeper for Heller. Travis Heller, the transfer. A lot of noise was made about him in the offseason. Coming out of Black Hills State. Division II transfer, has the all-time record for Division II yards in a season. It was a big gamble to bring him up, but it's one that's paid off in dividends for Clemson. Even though this will be his only year with the program, as he is a senior, this is going to be a decisive. This is going to be a decisive season for the future. Sophomore backup Tony Moore has been warming up under this guy all season with the absolute oodles of college level experience that Heller has. On 3rd and 1. In Virginia Tech territory. You think you got to convert here? He's not going to get it. He had it if he pitched it out. But there wasn't enough time as he gets hit with a freight train. And again, they'll punt.
He'll try to knock this punt down inside the 20.
That's in the end zone, a touchback. Clemson is number 9, I believe. So that is actually accurate. Virginia Tech is not ranked. They are number 2 this season in the 2KU. Jones hands it off. He's going to lose yardage.
They'll drop him for a loss. Nowhere to go for the halfback. That's a loss of 1. From their own 19-yard line. 2nd down.
You're on 2nd and 11. They're going to hand it off. Marcel Lewis gets 6 yards on the play. Gonna throw it. Finds a man open inside the 40. That's gonna be tight end Jeremy Coker.
First and 10. Ball on the 42. Fakes it and
Oh, there's the keeper, Jones.
a great tackle at the 49.
He'll get 9. Setting up 2nd and 1. A really good quarterback string they've had the last 3 seasons. Heisman Trophy winner, Hassan Robinson left in 2020. In 2021 and 22, Michael Kelly was the starter. He ended up going first round in the NFL draft. And now we have Jamal Jones. Jones is a senior. And he's got some legs on him inside the 25 to about the 21-yard line. Last we saw Clemson in the BCS, they lost to West Virginia in the Orange Bowl.
It's first down. Virginia Tech is up a field goal. He's going to try and scramble.
Gonna try and run it himself. That's a sack. Second and 14. They did win the Peach Bowl when they went in 2014.
And this play is number 8 on the drive.
And already the first quarter comes to a close in a defensive matchup. 3-0 Virginia Tech.
Set to resume action here in the second quarter, and we've got a tight ball game.
Tech's on the cusp. Gonna throw over the middle. A 9-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 6. Jeremy Coker, senior tight end for Virginia Tech. Weird to think, but VT is not out of the woods yet. Even with a win, they still got to worry about Virginia and the rest of their conference, as there's a first down and more. With all that pressure, it's incredible to see how well Jamal Jones can operate. They're going to hand it off to Lewis. Touchdown, Virginia Tech. Number 4 will put number 2 up 10 with the PAT.
This back has great vision, which allows him to make runs like this one we just saw.
And he adds the extra point. So a 10-play, 81-yard drive, and it's good for 7 points. And it looks like they're ready for the kickoff. Taken at the 5.
Kicks away.
Makes it to the 22-yard
An 18-yard return, and Clemson comes back on the field.
It was a pretty one-sided first quarter, but I wouldn't be surprised if things changed in a big way before halftime.
They're going to hand it off up the middle. An 8-yard run. Clemson's back. Eric Lawson, the main rock carrier for the Tigers, behind Heller himself as he's got a first down. On 1st and 10, he's going to keep it again. Fumble! It's Clemson who recovers it, and they get the first down. And that is Heller down.
From the 46-yard line. First down.
Oh, no.
Well, after that injury, we'll get to see the backup quarterback here.
Heller goes down as they'll hand it off on 1st and 10. This is now backup Tony Moore in. And this is not how you want to start things. Another handoff. We'll get 3 on the play. We'll keep you updated on that. on a 5-yard run. Third and 2. Clemson still hasn't scored today. They hand it off. It's enough for a first to the 20-yard line.
This is the 8th play of this drive.
Is that another injury? I think that's backup running back
Nice run.
Dennis Sullivan in, and you've got to be kidding me. Here's Tony Moore. He's going to keep it.
Gets to about the 11-yard line.
3-yard run. Oh no, he's doing this again.
Down at the 16.
And it's a loss of 5 on the play.
They'll line it up for the field goal.
Out for game, mild concussion.
Guys earlier to that injury, and unfortunately, I don't think he's going to play any more football today. And they can make this a one.
Thankfully, he will be back for the game against South Carolina. He won't be out for the season, or what remains of it.
The Tigers running back, he was injured.
And the running back will be back soon. It's not as serious as as
Excellent kick.
it's much better than we thought it was going to be.
With one quarter
But losing Travis Heller for a game is going to be brutal.
these two squads might be neck and neck the whole way. Virginia Tech is up 7.
Over the middle, incomplete. First incompletion of the day for Jamal Jones.
It's 2nd and 10. Ball on their own 25. Now he tries to
Jones is going to run it himself.
tackle at about the 33-yard line.
And there's an 8-yard gain.
But it was still a pretty good run by the quarterback.
He made a good decision to take off there.
Here's 3rd and 2.
Quick throw.
And that one hits the dirt.
Receiver.
4th and 2. Clemson will get the ball back.
Everybody up close. It looks like they're coming after this kick.
A bit of good news for Clemson is Tony Moore's still a very talented quarterback. As I mentioned, he has plenty of experience.
And he just got stood up right there.
Has plenty of experience under Heller. He'll be junior next season, and he'll be the starter next season for this Clemson team.
Even. And with so little separation, this game
But
can be
he just probably wishes they didn't get thrown in the fire like this.
runs left and
Gonna try a jet sweep. That's nothing.
You've got to admire the intensity that these linebackers bring to the table. As soon as he saw it was staying on the ground, he made a beeline for the ball carrier.
2nd and 11 here. Fake the jet sweep. Keeps it himself.
for a nice run.
4 yards. Don't forget to stay tuned. We have a game against Boise State TCU coming up after this one. Screenplay, nothing.
That series left the offense
You throw it to the fullback on a 3rd and 7.
Head to the sideline with a
What are we doing here?
knowing that they've just shut this offense down.
He gets it away. This is a really nice punt.
Punts away to 15, to the 20. He'll get to the 30.
And he's tackled at the 31.
Up to the 31.
Played it pretty close to the vest so far.
Virginia Tech
Because they've been so conservative.
will get the ball back here at 143 and a half. They get the ball back in the second quarter, or in the second half.
In a game that's this close, you can't afford to waste possessions. Virginia Tech is up by a touchdown.
And this is the type of game that just deflates you.
Gets it out to the wideout, and he's got the
As there's a big first down.
tackle in space. It's 1st first and 10. Ball on the 47.
Over the middle. Dropped. Here's 2nd and 10. I'm sorry if I'm not that enthused, but it's just looking like one of those games. Just like the game they played against Georgia Tech earlier. It looks like VT's probably going to dominate. Oh, fumble! Virginia Tech will get it back, but it'll set up a 3rd and 21. And that's the kind of play you need if you're Clemson. Ball comes out. It'll lose a couple more yards. And they're going to review it. I think it came out before. That's a little close. That might be another one we'll have to look at. I'm actually taking my executive motion. I'm going to look at that. Just enhance. We're gonna try and see. Because we had a bad call against in the Georgia LSU game earlier that would have cost them the game. That is down. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make sure it's a 3rd and 17 and not a 3rd and 21. So the difference isn't that much. But that's gonna make it back up. It's a sack. Clemson calls a timeout, and on 4th and 25, Virginia Tech punts. The lead isn't that much. It's only a touchdown. But against Virginia Tech, a 7-point deficit may as well be a 70-point deficit. There's a minute and a half. And you gotta score to keep pace. First and 10. Intercepted! What are you doing? There was no receiver in sight. Right to a defender. And there's a throw for a first down. Virginia Tech. Hokies calling a timeout. I am in shock. I am in utter disbelief. As there's a first down. And as Clemson keeps having bad break after bad break, Virginia Tech rolling into 1st and goal. Trying to keep it to the back. It'll be a 5-yard gain. 2nd and goal from about the 1. Play action. Screen play. Touchdown, Virginia Tech, but hold it. A defensive false start.
Defenses sometimes overlook the fullback. It's because he's usually back there for protection or lead blocking for the halfback.
He makes the PAT. A 4-play, 39-yard drive.
This is just the trifecta, really. Bad turnovers, injuries, and bad penalties. I don't think I've ever seen a performance since the Miami game. Clemson needs to get some fire in their gut now.
This quarterback can make good passes. He just needs to focus on
I don't know if I believe you, Kirk. They need to get something going on this drive. Otherwise, this gap is going to become insurmountable. There are only 21 seconds left in the half. Virginia Tech gets the ball back, so they'll try and score first. And that'll be the end of the first half. What are you have a timeout.
Virginia Tech's lead is 2 touchdowns.
You have a timeout, 21 seconds. You're down 2 scores. They get the ball back at the second half.
Hi everybody, glad to have you with us on the EA.
Pardon my demeanor. I don't think I've ever seen a more boneheaded.
Look at some of the highlights from a solid first half.
Since the Michigan game to start this season, I don't think I've ever seen a worse performance to end a half or a quarter. I don't think I've ever seen a performance this bad since Miami in the Music City Bowl 2 years ago.
All right, what's the most important thing when you try to make that early statement?
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Clemson is snake bitten. I don't know what's happening.
And make sure that you can find ways to make plays, and whoever usually makes the
There have been collapses.
Try to avoid that big mistake.
There have been collapses where a team loses ground in the middle of the game. And then there's a team like Clemson with so much hype, so much buildup,
All right, Reese and Dave
to not even get out of the starting gate
start the second half.
without misfortune.
Caught at the 8. He's to the 20. Oh, man.
And you'll get to the 30. Virginia Tech, not discounting their efforts, they have been playing fantastic, and they're proving it here why they are one of the best teams in the nation. But for a number 9 Clemson who needs this game, you would need this game if you're Clemson.
He gets rid of this one.
It just seems unbelievable.
Second down, 10 yards to go.
And you gotta hope that your defense performs unreal in the next 2 quarters. Otherwise, you're not gonna stand a chance in hell of closing this gap.
They'll bring him down at the 39.
This is gonna set up a 3rd and 1.
He's on the run.
Quarterback's gonna keep it, and that's a 1st down.
The 42-yard line. From their own 42-yard line. It's 1st down.
As there's a handoff, he's gonna get another 1st down.
48.
Lewis, once again with a big run. The rush game has been the backbone of this VT team. They're not as flashy as their counterparts in a place like Oklahoma State, who are probably their best comparison right now.
From the 43-yard line. 2nd down.
They're not going to dazzle with big, flashy plays. They're just going to punch it in your mouth. Until you like it. Oh, what a shot, though.
coaching staff is going to need to change up the blocking.
Still got fight, this Clemson team. I won't steal that from them. Four for 7 on 3rd down. Virginia Tech on 3rd and 7 here. You got to get that pressure. You got to stop him. That's a 1st down.
At the 34. And this is the 8th play of the drive.
Here's the keeper. Jones with room.
He gets out to about the 21-yard line.
14-yard run for Mr. Jones.
From the 21-yard line.
1st and 10.
1st down.
Gonna throw over the middle.
Taken down.
Caught, an 8-yard gain.
And this is the 10th play of the drive.
Second and 2.
Scrambling around.
Jones gonna keep it. Show him who you are, Mr. Jones. 1st down.
1st and goal from the 4, looking for Pater.
1st and goal. Hand it off to Lewis. Touchdown, Hokies.
So the halfback took it in for 6.
Simple play call there by the offensive.
Another score for number 4, Marcel Lewis. And it's a 21-point lead right now for Virginia Tech.
It was an 11-play, 70-yard drive, and they add 7 points to the scoreboard. So our score, 24-3. Virginia Tech is ready to kick it away. And he got all of this one. Great kick. Virginia Tech
Into the end zone for a touchback. Look at that defensive. Look at those defensive stats. 101 yards allowed there. I believe it was 4 sacks and an interception. They forced a fumble earlier. We maybe make it a bit closer. I'll try on the next series if Clemson can't score here.
He gets hit out of bounds at the 27.
It could be that the offensive coordinator is trying to lure the secondary in to play more press coverage. And then they'll try to take
If there's another boneheaded decision
better be ready.
that we've seen before.
And he's tackled at the 38.
One thing I would advise you, Danny, is if you have a program for clipping streams, keep that on standby because I might have a word with this Clemson team if they can't keep this, if they can't keep up here.
But he's tackled back behind the line of scrimmage.
So that'll be a loss of 2, 2nd and 12.
Second down at 12. Ball on their own 36.
Second down and 12. Tony Moore in for, if you missed it, Tony Moore in for the injured Travis Heller. He had a concussion. He's out for the game. So now we're on 3rd and 8. Third and 8. Moore, you got to step up. That's enough for a first.
Right around the 50.
At midfield, it's going to be 1st and 10 for Clemson. We're still waiting for a Clemson touchdown. Handoff up the gut.
Gains his way to the 40-yard line.
That's enough for a first down. Eric Lawson back in the game. No, it's not. It's 2nd and inches. Handoff on a sweep. It's a first down. He's still going inside the 30.
And he makes it out to about the 27-yard
A
line.
yard to gain on that one. 2nd and 9. All right, Moore throwing left side.
Got it and brought down immediately.
A 7-yard gain is going to make it 3rd and 2.
It's 3rd down, and they're about 2 yards shy of the sticks.
Gonna try and keep it. Nothing.
Taken down.
Not a thing on that play. Virginia Tech swarming them there. That was a great defensive play. They're going for it. On 4th and 5. Gonna throw on a screenplay. Can he get there? He's got it. First down. And that might have been crucial. Gonna run it on an option play. Throws it short
At the 15.
for a 3-yard gain to the fullback. Raymond Kingston, a senior for Clemson. And that's going nowhere.
Down to the backfield.
They try the jet sweep again, and it's 3rd and 11. They have not passed much today.
11 coming up here. Ball on the 18-yard line.
They're 2 for 7 on third down. They're in 11. Moore's got to get rid of it. He'll throw it short, and it's dropped.
I think, Brad, the quarterback's just better off just taking a sack. You have to be very careful.
And they're going for it again.
Throw the ball just to throw the ball. If you feel like you're not going to be able to make the play, the defense got you, just give up on that play.
Oh, he's going to throw it. Touchdown, Clemson.
And they're back in it.
Just what the doc ordered. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, touchdown, Clemson.
Did a good job of protecting the quarterback. Good route by the receivers. Results, touchdown.
So they go to the air on 4th down when they needed a big play, and boy, do they come through.
Up and good.
A long 15 plays.
There's still a long way to go.
And that's good for a touchdown.
But this is what Clemson needed.
24-10. They line up to kick this one away. Taken at the 5. Tackle.
There's another return to the 30 for Virginia Tech.
Hand on offense, and they just keep on going here in quarter number 3.
They've scored their last,
Say about these guys today is consistency. They are
I believe, the top 2 of their last 2 drives.
points up on the board. They're going to be tough to beat.
So it's time to see this offense
They
go
did
to
score
work.
on their last drive, whichever way.
For moving the ball and inevitably finding the end zone.
He's on the run.
2 of their last 5 drives ended with a punt. Here's a big run for Marcel Lewis. To about the 50.
First down, 10 to go. Ball on the 49-yard line.
First and 10, a keeper.
Tackle at the
Now he's down, a 9-yard run. That'll end the third quarter.
remaining. Virginia Tech in front.
24-10. Virginia Tech still in control. I will step in if the Hokies score again.
Back in this very pivotal 4th quarter.
Gonna throw away, finds a man wide open to the 20. Who else but Jeremy Coker? The go-to tight end for this Virginia Tech team. Who might be the best tight end in this upcoming draft class. On a keeper, he's going to lose 3.
He had nowhere to go on that option play.
Boy, you're right. He's lucky he held onto the football there.
Second and 13. Lewis going to be swallowed up in the backfield. No gain.
Third and about 13 yards.
Third and 13 out of the 21. They've thrived under pressure. Jones.
Throws it in a hurry.
And there he goes. Another first down.
First and goal.
That was a really nice play on the ball by the receiver for a substantial gain and a first down.
And it's been one of those days for Clemson. Can it turn around late in this game? Here's Jones
Run up the middle.
to the 1.
This is the 8th play of this drive.
They're probably going to punch it up the middle, hand off to Lewis. Oh no, he keeps it himself. Mr. Jones! Touchdown, Virginia Tech.
I think the option down by the goal line is a great call. It puts so much pressure on the defense and allows the quarterback to have the decision to run it or pitch it. And this time it worked to perfection.
And he hits the PAT.
All right, we'll give Clemson the ball.
69-yard drive, and it's good for 7 points.
Let them have a drive, and then we'll step in here.
He'll return it from the 6.
And he'll get to the 20.
Well, this is turning into a shootout here. Now, remember, the last time we saw this offense out in the field, they answered the bell and scored a touchdown. Can they do that now a second time?
So we're just about ready to return to action.
Virginia Tech, one of 4 undefeated teams in the country.
And he just gets rid of it.
Oh, frame rate went low on that one as he just gets rid of the ball, incomplete.
From their own 21-yard line. Second down.
Second and 10.
He's got room to work. Tackle made at the 26-yard line.
Now, I think he's got a good rhythm going right now with his wide receivers. He hit him for a nice game.
Third and 5. Screenplay. Nothing.
Catch, and the defense is all over him. They bring him down for...
And here we go. We're going to get started.
And this one is a beauty.
Oh, there's some sort of flag.
This one might be coming back, folks. Let's check out the penalty.
Clipping. Receiving team.
We'll allow it.
That one's going to put him way back.
You just can't block a player from behind like that, or it's going to
Because what we're trying to do is unrelated.
Well, it's not fourth down, but for some reason, the punter's on the field. There's a punt, and it's a line drive. And down he goes at the 36.
All right, we'll give him that. That's the wrong button.
It's a new possession for this offense, so what will it hold? And the goal line defense digging in here. There's a strike complete. Got some open field. He's at the 40. And down he goes.
All right, we'll let him set it up there as there's first and 10.
But that was certainly a spark of life.
So here's first and 10. He's going to throw it
He's in space.
He made a good read here to find
a
his
5-yard gain.
That's sound decision making.
They put everyone up on the line.
Oh, he's got a wide open man. Touchdown, Clemson.
Clemson.
And with less than 3 minutes to go,
And he converts the extra point.
it's now a 14-point game.
3-play, 63-yard drive. And they come away with 7 points. The score now, 31-17.
On the inside, Virginia Tech will get it.
And he's taken.
And that's where we come in. Man, I hate how these menus are.
The 40-yard line. Their last drive ended in a punt, so this quarterback's going to be looking for something better on this drive. Just under 3 to go in regulation. He gets out to about the 38-yard line. Virginia Tech's going to use their first time out of the half here. Second down, 8 yards to go. Ball on the 38. They'll bring him down right around the 38-yard line. Virginia Tech will have one timeout remaining. And they make the stop around the 37-yard line. Virginia Tech's called their final timeout. Right now he wants to get this kick away and change field position. It's away, short punt. From
All right. Now we're going to give it to now we're going to let Clemson work with it again.
they move the ball very effectively on their last
Sometimes a little nudge is just all you need. Can Clemson make the most of it?
try to make some corrections. Let's see if they can stop them this time.
So much of the passing game.
On 1st and 10, he's going to heave it. Intercepted. Are you kidding me? What a play, though.
The quarterback has made some really careless throws.
And here we go again. On the first play.
Also give credit to the defense for being able to clean up the mess and create the turnovers.
And this is strange. The punter's on the field right now, and I'm not quite sure what's going on. Doesn't want to let the punt returner have a chance here. He just wants to change field position.
And here we go. Strike 3 incoming. There may be a rule coming in the future on how many a team is allowed.
Didn't get all of that one. Offense comes back out, looking to improve from their last effort.
And we'll see how aggressive this defense is when they come back out. I wouldn't be surprised if
We'll workshop it in the future.
try to fluster this quarterback some more.
Flips it, middle.
On a screenplay.
Taken down around the 20-yard line.
I think the real problem is whatever AI thinks you should keep calling screenplays.
Complete. He's got room, and he's tackled at the 24.
He's going to be pushed out of bounds. You don't have time. Third and 8. He's got to throw it.
Bring him down. The protection broke down. The defense was in the backfield.
Can't get rid of it. They got to go for it on 4th down. They've made it twice before.
And the offense is still on the field.
We'll give them one more chance if they can't convert it. What are you doing? This is your last shot. I'm giving you. If you can't get back into it with this, I don't know how to help you.
To give the ball back after going for it on 4th and long.
Not much you can do there. You got it. The linemen have after that.
What on earth are you doing? There's a 1st down. Get out of bounds.
43-yard
There's your timeout.
taking their first time out of the half. From their own 43-yard line. It's 1st down. We have less than a minute to go. Under heavy pressure.
Gonna throw it. Finds a man open. 1st down. He's got to hurry.
Down at the 41.
I like the call here.
Clemson calls the timeout.
With the outside linebacker. It was just a better call by the offense, and that's why it's a 1st down.
You gotta score. You only have one timeout. Why are you running the football?
And they get nice yardage on that run. And he stops.
Why are you running the football?
And here's another 3rd down.
Third and 5. He drops it. And that's going to be do or die for Clemson on 4th and 5. Is it meant to be? Finds a man open for the 1st down.
At the 24-yard line.
You're down 2 scores. You're playing like you're down 1. It's intercepted.
Fat lady singing.
Ball game.
And it's the defense that delivers the knockout punch with that interception.
Unbelievable.
We should just see the quarterback take
They're going to take a knee. Clemson only has 1 timeout. Now you call the time.
for a defense than seeing the opposing quarterback take a knee.
So now you call a timeout. All right. Let the clock run. I am go. If I let any language slip, I do apologize beforehand. I do admit, I will admit, I do tamper with some results, as you've seen before, mainly to keep games interesting on stream and to get some fun endings later on in the year. Help storylines develop. It's something I do want to cut back on in the future. But sometimes we get a game like this, where even if I were to mess with the results, it doesn't seem to matter. Clemson flat out got outplayed, even with the game being handed to them. First of all, I'm going to give you guys the benefit of the doubt. Of course, I think Heller would have done a lot better here. Heller, likely a Heisman finalist, as we'll find out tomorrow. It's really a shame that he had to get knocked out so early. That's not up to me. That's not up to anyone. That's the game doing it. I don't take credit for that sort of thing, obviously. You obviously don't want a star player to get injured in a game like this. And you got a lot of bad luck. Some calls that didn't go your way. You had some really boneheaded penalties later on. But what really killed you is you just seem to have some anti-clutch. Just the absolute inverse of everything. Of everything relating to clutch. Penn State has been a very clutch team this year. UCF was a very clutch team last season. This Clemson team somehow just starts a game and never starts their offense. This team was borderline awful. In a game you need to win. You needed this game. You needed this game to make it. Now you have to rely on results outside of your control. Virginia Tech, they've all but locked it. They're looking to potentially win their 4th straight conference championship. They're looking to 4-peat. That's something that's never been done in conference history. And Clemson, now you're sitting on the sidelines. You had a game you definitely shouldn't have lost against Virginia Tech. Now, with this loss, the Duke Blue Devils are in the conference championship. Thank you, Danny, for that. You've been leapfrogged by a team who has not won the ACC Championship since 1972. And Virginia Tech can lock it with a win in Charlottesville next Sunday, or next Saturday. You have watched the entire conference go leaps and bounds ahead of you in the past few years, and you think this would have given you a spark. You think this would have given you a spark to get back into that position. You made the conference championship 3 years in a row back in the late 2000s. 08, 09, 2010. You won 2 of those 3 in 09 and 2010. I have no idea how a team can be so dominant. You put up 75 points in a game this season. It was against Charleston Southern, granted, but you kept putting up 40-point showings. Georgia Southern, Miami, Wake Forest. you beat a Florida State team that still had talent in spite of a very rough year for them. But it seems like you play any team that's somewhere close to your level, you crumble. You did it against Duke at home. You did it in Virginia Tech, which is not an easy place to play, but granted, I'll give you that. But a contender beats Duke. A contender puts up more than 3 points in the first half against Virginia Tech. A team that doesn't really have a wowing offense like you did. And if all goes as planned, whether it's Virginia Tech or Virginia that make that final spot in the conference championship game, you're going to be sitting on the sidelines for another year. Another year you think of what could have been. Heller's gone next season. He's going to the NFL. He's going to make a team very happy. He might win the Heisman. He should have gone out better than this. It's an unreal performance. Like I said, I haven't seen anything so disappointing from a team since Miami 2 years ago in the Music City Bowl. I've never seen a team stall like this since it was Georgia Tech in the Music City Bowl. I haven't seen a performance this stalling since Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech had anti-clutch so many times. There was that Music City Bowl. There was their game against LSU twice where they could have asserted themselves. And there was this season to start against Virginia Tech. Somehow this team is even less clutch. And when you watch either Virginia Tech win their 4th title in a row, or Duke winning their first conference title since 1972, you just got to sit back and wonder what happened. How did it end like this? That's pretty much all I have to say. Looking at these two team schedules going forward, Clemson now sitting outside of the race at 5-2 in conference play, 8-3 overall. They play rival South Carolina at home next week. Virginia now 8-3. They've actually had a very good season this year. They are still in it, as Danny mentions. They need to beat Virginia Tech next week. The game is in Charlottesville. Upset may be brewing. It happened to Clemson. Maybe it happens again. That would set up a Virginia-Duke conference championship game. Duke's never played in the conference championship game in the ACC. They've never done it before. Meanwhile, Virginia's last appearance was in 2012. Their last championship came when they won the Natty in 2006. That race is getting heated. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to talk about the scores this week. But obviously we'll have another game coming up in just over 45 minutes. We'll be taking a short break, but will hopefully be a much more thrilling matchup as Boise State takes on TCU. We'll see you there. We'll be right back